Tron has always been a really musical franchise. In some ways, it's like a concert film.
A malfunctioning program that wants to live. Why is that?
It's just a feeling.
Fascinating.
When you make a Tron movie, you have to somewhat way pay respects, you know, and as a fan of the franchise, that was, you know, a pressure that I put on myself, I put on everybody, you know, around us. And I think it was actually you, Jared, that came up with the idea of going back to the original grid in the movie. And when that came, you know, when we started talking about it, I got very excited because that was like something that, oh, this we can have so much fun with. The fans, I'm a fan, I love it, the fans will love it. And obviously then also getting Jeff Bridges back, obviously, you know, as Kevin Flynn.
Yeah, for me it was just an excuse to get back into that 80s grid, a childhood wish fulfillment.
Yeah.
Childhood wish fulfillment. And we also needed a kind of a device, a structure to allow us to, you know, get to Jeff Bridges, to get to Kevin Flynn, to get to some information that might hold the key. And you know, when you go far enough into the future, sometimes you have to go to the past. But I hope people have fun with it. It really came from, you know, a fan-centric desire to bring that world back to life. And I thought Joachim did a really great job, you know, honoring the past, but also, you know, making it a Joachim Rønning movie.
And I also saw like Industrial Light and Magic, like when, because obviously computer graphics, it was used in the first film, you know, in the original Tron, and it's kind of like the first film I think that actually used it. So for the VFX artists at ILM that did this, it's kind of like ground zero, you know, of CGI. So I just saw the joy, you know, of all of these artists getting to work on this next chapter of Tron.
They should have had them use all the old computers. So, yeah. You have to do it this way.
We wouldn't be done.
Yeah, it would probably would take them forever.
You think you're in control of this? You're not.
Yeah, the soundtrack is incredible. I heard it for the first time, watching the film for the first time,
Same.
Which was mind-blowing.
Because very often when you do, the only bits that you see are when you're doing the voiceover, like when you're correcting your voice during what they call ADR. And so you always have temp music for that. So the first time that actors sit in front of the big screen is very often the first time that they're seeing and hearing what it really sounds like. And when you've got the Nine Inch Nails as the soundtrack, it is kind of mind-blowing and makes it feel that much cooler to be a part of.
Yeah, the scene when Julian is printing Ares and Athena to go after Eve, and that synth comes in.
Yeah.
And I wish I could have heard that when we were shooting it. That
Did
would
you
have been
squeal?
awesome. I was like, oh, it's getting exciting.
The music of the Tron franchise is such a big part of the DNA, you know, and it was honestly a little daunting thinking about like what can we do after Daft Punk, and also when they call us in the early 80s, I think it's brilliant. So it was, I think, in our very first meeting we talked about like where can we go, and honestly it was only one name on that list, or two names, which is Atticus and Trent, and then they you know, then they wanted to do it under their Nine Inch Nails banner, and that was amazing. It's been such an amazing journey to be a part of, and I think that it informed me a little bit about what kind of movie we were making as well. And I think it just blends so well with the subject matter, with the story, you know, and it allowed me to go a little, I don't know, a little grittier, you know, a little bit more industrial.
You know, Tron has always been a really musical franchise. So I keep saying in some ways it's like a concert film. And there's a high bar for the music, and And I think it was something that was always on everyone's mind with, who's it going to be? Who can step into those shoes? Big shoes to fill, a lot of expectation. I would say that Tron Legacy, Daft Punk is probably one of the more beloved soundtracks of all time.
Yeah.
Certainly in modern times. So yeah, you needed an artist who could had a certain amount of gravitas.
I'm looking for something. Something I do not understand.
They built, in the opening scene, there's a tank that is sort of revealed. That they built. They actually had Jared in there and lowered him down and sort of wheeled it out. It was pretty incredible and very helpful to look at something that was really there.
As opposed to the other things that are created that he's acting against, which did not exist, and there's no way they could have existed.
Well, you didn't get to see that.
I didn't get to see anything, basically. But I've got this very large office. Well, it used to be my office. It's now his office. And behind that is a three-dimensional backdrop that is digital and basically plays almost like a movie on a loop that has people on various floors moving around, etc. And they kind of reset it before every take on the scene. So that is a level of tech that's live in that moment, different and more advanced than a lot of what you've seen. In the old days, they used to hand paint backdrops with mountains and buildings and stuff. And so pretty much everything to do with this film is the best and most advanced version of it. So it's very cool to be a part of that.